Hey, what is up, guys? All right, we are taking questions now. And the next question that just came through is 20% still a reasonable fee for Fiverr and Upwork? So it's pretty interesting that this question was asked right now, because there's been a huge announcement that went down last Friday. And this is basically that Upwork is changing their sliding scale, where it went from everything under 500 was 20%, and everything between 500 and 10,000 was 10%, and then everything over 10,000 was 5%. That's all changing now. Now it's just going to be 10% all across the boards, which is pretty crazy and changes up a lot of our strategy that we had in place. The big issue is that if you were used to paying 5% on some of these long-term contracts, which we regularly were doing, because we have an agency, and often these projects get way above the 10,000 mark. So we were quite happy with the 5%, to be honest. And this jumping to 10%, which is, a 100% raise, it doubled up. It's going to definitely hit us pretty hard. So we have to think about now, like, what happens when we think, really long term with some of these projects and things like that. So it's a little bit of a different strategy. But the thing is, to be honest, I think this is going to be more helpful for the people that are doing smaller jobs and people getting into Upwork for the first time, because now they're not going to get hit with that 20% right off the top, and it's actually going to be halved. So I think it's going to be really good for them, because this question that you posed was, is 20% reasonable? So I think really to answer your question is no, I don't think it is reasonable. I think Fiverr charging 20% on everything across the board is very unreasonable. I think I did like the fact that Upwork incentivized you to have big projects and drop it down to 10% as quickly as possible. And I mean, most of the projects are in that range. They're above 500, below 10,000. So I think Upwork knows that 10% has always been, a number that everybody feels very comfortable with. Whether they stay at 10% or increase that in the future, we'll see what happens. But they definitely put everybody the same across the board at the 10% level, which is far lower than, what we have here with the 20%, which I think created so much kind of animosity towards Upwork with a lot of people that may have been just selling services for $10, $20, $30 an hour, and doing only several hours of work, and then getting pinched by the 20% fee on top of everything else. So I think this is going to help people who take on these smaller projects. I think it's going to be a vastly different landscape now that part of the market is going to become more competitive, because more people will find it attractive to bid on projects, spend their connects, and not think that, like, okay, if I get this job for, on the low side, $10 an hour, right? Before it was, you were only going to receive 8 of that 10. Now you're going to receive 9 of that 10. So it's going to really be impactful for those people. And like I said, it's not going to affect us in a good way. I just hope that Upwork keeps the 5% going. Right now they have it after a year, at the end of 2023, they're going to be converting down to from a 5 to a 10. And I don't think that they should really do this. I think that these contracts were made and formed while we were under the impression that there were specific fees in place. And I think that worked for the price points that we negotiated and all these things. And I do think that moving forward, it's very easy to bake these increases into our fees and keep our margins comfortable. However, to convert it from 5 to 10, after these things have been going on several years. I don't really love that. I really think that there should be some middle ground, a better solution for that to be handled. So hopefully Upwork comes around and does that. But I think all in all, taking everything from 20 to 10 and keeping everything 10 is probably in the long run a good move, because we all want to see Upwork healthy, making money, because it's important that they stay solvent and open for business. Thanks so much for the question.